So, of course, at the beginning of the episode, I showed off one of the worst games of 2023 because I'm trying to collect all of the worst games of 2023. And it's funny how the exact same time period where I got one of the worst games of 2023, I also got one of the best. Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of the Bargain Game Hunter. This is going to be another smaller pickups episode. I know, it's been a little bit since I've actually gone out game hunting. Part of that is I've been busy. And part of that is just I've been trying kind of to slow down on game hunting. I know I say that and that's kind of ironic considering this is a series about buying games. I am slowing down though. But most of the games I'm picking up in this episode are games I've been wanting for a while. One was a really good deal, I freely admit, but most of the games I've been wanting for a little bit. So, let's just go ahead and get to it. Our first game is a game I picked up from Amazon, and this is to add to my collection of the worst games of 2023. So I think I mentioned this a while ago, but I'm actually trying to collect all of the quote-unquote worst games of 2023 in order to do a video where I play all of them in a row and kind of do a review to see, okay, which one is the actual worst. So far in my collection, I have acquired Wanted Dead, Lord of the Rings Gollum, Skull Island Reign of Kong, and now this one, and that is The Walking Dead Destinies on the Xbox Series X. This is a really bad game. It's made by Game Mill, the same makers as Skull Island Rise of Kong. I've heard bad things. The only reason why I picked this up is it was on sale for $20, and I'm like, that's low enough where I can justify it. So I got it. So now I'm really missing two games to kind of complete that collection. The Grey Hill Incident and Crime Boss Rockay City. But once I have those two, I think I'll be ready to begin that oh so fun series. Next, we're going to go to VGP. Now, VGP, if you don't know already, is a Canadian retailer who oftentimes gets some stuff that's kind of hard to find. They also sometimes get exclusive games. I picked up both an exclusive game and a very, very limited drop of a limited run game that has not really been available. So unless you pre-ordered this game from limited run, you probably don't have it. I was able to snag one from VGP, and I'm very glad I did. So we're going to start off with the VGP exclusive, and that is Fantavision 20X on the PS5. So this is a new version of Fantavision, which was a PS2 launch title. It's basically a fireworks game. It's playable in VR. I've heard good things about this one. I figured it's an exclusive. It's a unique game that you won't really find other places, so I figured I'd pick it up. So, might be worth it. I mostly got it because I wanted to fill out my order. Because, yes, I finally got the physical copy of this. And yes, technically this is my second copy of this game. But my first copy is on Vita. And now I have a proper console copy. And that is Persona 4 Golden on the Xbox Series X. So this is a limited print run from Limited Run and Atlas. I already have Persona 3 Portable on Xbox. Now I have Persona 4 Golden. This was the one I really wanted because Persona 3 Portable, it's kind of an interesting novelty, but Reload is out. So if you want to play Persona 3, probably the best way to play it is Reload. Persona 4, though, this is the way you want to play it. Now I have a physical copy of it, which is great. Also, that is not a cheap game to buy, so I'm glad I was able to snag it from VGP. So there you go. Two VGP exclusives, as well as a bad game from Amazon. And we still got some more stuff coming in, so stay tuned. Okay, it is time for the recap. I know, crazy. This is a pretty short episode. It's just pickups, but we got some big ones at the end that I think you will appreciate. So we already had Persona 4 Golden, we already have Fantavision 2020X, and The Walking Dead Destinies. So now let's counteract that with some other interesting looking games. So the first one is a game that looked really interesting and has a unique concept that I decided I wanted to check out, and plus it was on Woot for really cheap, so I figured I'd give it a shot. It's called Ad Infinitum on the Xbox Series X. Apparently it's like a survival horror-ish game, but you're in the mind of like a Nazi sympathizer. It sounds really dark and really interesting. It could be a pretty cool game. I'm curious as to how it is. I figure it was like $11, something like that. So I figured it was worth a shot. It was 13. I only paid $13 for this, so I figured it's worth a gamble on. And this one's actually worth $39. So already came out pretty far ahead this week in terms of games. Very happy with that. So good start to the week. Then we have a game that I think they showed at either a PlayStation thing or the Game Awards, something like that. I saw the art style for this. It looks trippy as hell. And again, it was fairly cheap. I figured, you know what? Let's give it a shot. We have Ultros, the deluxe edition on the PS5. This is a very trippy looking game. It's supposed to be like psychedelics, and it's a Metroidvania. Yeah, it looks interesting. I got the deluxe edition for $30 on Amazon. Figured it was worth a snag. I paid $30, and this one is worth $42. So another big bump up in value, although the disc is loose. So we're gonna have to open it, but that's okay. It is what it is. Now comes the big one, and it's funny. I didn't plan this. It just happened this way. So, of course, at the beginning of the episode, I showed off one of the worst games of 2023 because I'm trying to collect all of the worst games of 2023. And it's funny how the exact same time period where I got one of the worst games of 2023, I also got one of the best. Actually, if anything, it's the best. It was 2023's Game of the Year. They released a physical copy, and it finally came in. We have the deluxe edition of Baldur's Gate 3 on the Xbox Series X. Comes in this really cool box. I did a full unboxing on the channel, so check that out if you want to see it. Here's the regular game case. Fun fact, I, for some reason, got a digital copy of Baldur's Gate 3 in addition to this physical copy. Because I got an email from Larian, and I thought it was just going to be like DLC content or something. Nope, it was the full game. So I have a digital copy of Baldur's Gate 3 and a physical copy. So I'm probably just going to keep my physical copy sealed, but hey, at least I can play it now. This was not a cheap game, paid $100, but it is only available on Larian store, and they said it wasn't like super limited. I have a feeling it's going to be a pretty rare pickup because once they're out of them, they're probably going to be out of them. But I paid $100 and it's worth $100 as far as we know. There's no data yet on it because it just released. I have a feeling this is going to be a hard to find game in the future. So that's part of why I got it. The other reason is I just really want to play Baldur's Gate 3. I've heard great things. Speaking of one of the best games, we also got one of the worst. Walking Dead Destinies on the Xbox Series X. Really bad game. One of the worst of last year. One of many, many contenders. And the plan is at some point in the summer, once I am able to get the last two I need, which are the Grey Hill Incident and Crime Boss Rocky City, I will do a marathon, or I guess probably a series, where I play all of the worst games of 2023, at least all the big name ones that I can still play. So yeah, this is going to be on that game list. Paid $20, and this is worth $33, so it has value for some reason. But yeah, I was mostly just waiting for the price to drop, and it finally dropped to a level I could justify. Next, we have Fantavision 2020X on the PS5. This is a new game in the Fantavision series, which is basically a rhythm game where you blow up fireworks, follow the rhythm. The original was a classic launch title on PS2, and now there's a new one on PS5. It's a limited print game. It was only available on VGP in North America. Figured I'd snag it. I mostly got it as a filler title for the other game that you're about to see. So I paid $29, and this one's worth $55, so really good value there. Last, but certainly not least, we have a game I am really excited about, and that is the last physical Persona game that I need in my collection, except for Persona 3 Reload, which I am going to get. It's coming, I just don't have it yet. But I needed this one because I already have Persona 3 Portable. I have a physical copy of this on Vita, but I wanted a physical copy of this on a platform that wasn't Vita so I could play it on my TV. And this is a pretty hard game to find unless you ordered it from Limited Run, which Limited Run takes forever, so I try not to do that when I can avoid it. But we have Persona 4 Golden on the Xbox. Yeah, they did a physical copy of this. I was real excited to pick it up, and I got myself a copy. I paid $47, and this is worth $100 in sealed condition. Yes. What a week. Got some big titles. And bookended by Baldur's Gate 3 and Persona 4 Golden. Big additions to the collection. Really cool, really unique games to add to the collection. What more could you ask for? Good stuff. Anyway, that's going to do it for this episode of the Bargain Game Hunter. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. If you're new around here, be sure to hit the subscribe button, click the notification bell, that way you know when new videos drop. We started a new series on the channel, which was our WWE 2K24 My GM Battle, where myself and Corey go head-to-head to see who is the better GM of wrestling, between someone who knows almost nothing about wrestling and someone who's been watching it pretty much their whole life. It's an interesting series. It's a lot of fun. The audio really sucks for a little while, but it's going to get a lot better. We actually just got the stuff we needed to really upgrade our audio setup, so it's going to get better. Yeah, so it's good stuff. Anyway, thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next episode of The Bargain Game Hunter. Bye-bye.